Contrary, no. The ayes have it. We now move to the clauses. The question is that clauses 1 and 2 stand part. I call Claudette Hauiti.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And so I would like to reiterate that the bill will validate the rates set by the Tasman District Council for the period 2003-4 to 08-9, during which the Council did not follow correct process in setting rates. The bill will also validate rates and penalties paid over that period, authorise the Council to recover any unpaid rates and ratify the Tata Beach and Liger Bay stormwater rate. This is, as we have heard this evening, a retrospective legislation. But it is a very necessary legislation in order to set the foundations for a better local government going forward. And this national government is about better local government reforms. It is about allowing those councils to make those very hard decisions, especially under increasing pressure. However, mistakes like this do occur, and we are hopeful that this legislation will minimise the risk going forward and ensure that other councils will learn from this mistake. Better local government reforms include work streams to monitor and improve council performance. This legislation will reinforce to those councils that they will be monitored and that compliance must be met. The sake of consistency, a technical amendment, and while for those viewers at home may find that this is very technical and rather dour and boring, it is absolutely necessary that we get this right for the sake of the Tasman District Council and all other councils going forward. Again, this is a retrospective legislation, but a necessary one. And of course, it is being supported across the House, albeit not overly enthusiastically. But again, it has got to be given its due diligence. And so, for again the sake of consistency, technical amendment will be made, as we had heard this evening. And again, the Select Committee again was sympathetic to the proposals that were brought forward by the members of the Tasman District community. However, it must be reinforced that the amendment, the District Council validation and recovery of certain rates, is absolutely necessary for the Tasman District Council to go forward in a robust fashion. Again, it will determine which ratepayers. The committee noted that there would be many practical implications of deleting Clause 9, which is actually quite important. It needs to be reiterated and reinforced that the time passed since those rates were set compounds this. Without validation, the Council would be required to determine which ratepayers had paid the rate 0607 and the amount that they paid. Again, I'm repeating this because this is, while it may seem to be a technical, very technically detailed bill, it is absolutely crucial that clarification around these technical details is had. The merits of setting a stormwater rate were found to be outside of this bill, and I think that needs to be reiterated as well too, given that there were many submissions. The submissions wanted that to be done. From 03-4 to 08-09, the Council passed rates attached to the annual plan rather than ratifying each rate individually, and that is something that this Council will need to do going forward to ensure that this does not occur again. They will need to implement procedures to ensure that they meet compliance with the legislation. The Council, this again was in breach of the Local Government Rating Act of 2002. The Rating Act provides avenue for councils to amend incorrectly set rates, but the window of time has had passed. The bill is needed to validate certain rates, as we have heard, set incorrectly during that period, and without the validation, the Council remains vulnerable to legal challenges from ratepayers over incorrectly set rates. Validation is also required to allow the Council to recover unpaid rates and penalties. Some residents have objected to details of the stormwater rate. They were not properly consulted on the urban drainage area and are being charged for stormwater services that are not being used. The committee had noted aspects of the council's consultation were not ideal, but steps taken by the council to improve.
Paul Goldsmith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're dealing with clauses 1 and 2, I